when push comes to shove, just start a new series. So it looks like I can't just run around capitalism. I have to literally talk directly about it. Well, this is where we are, guys. This is capitalism as well. And it gets very toxic very fast. A lot of the time, capitalism actually gives you a hand. Like if you want to survive, you have to spend your survival points sometimes to get a better place to stay. Stay away from all the troublesome places. But that requires a lot of money. That's just one of those unintended expenses, and the scariest one of them all, to be honest. This also includes the unintended expenses of spending time on social media and realizing that it's not social media, it's winner media, and guess what? What I am. I'm a loser. Meaning that everyone is supposed to fucking hate me now. Yay! Everyone hates my opinions. Everyone hates me reporting on anything or reacting to anything or just existing at this point. And they talk to me like I'm their fucking equal. And I have learned something about NPCs that's very interesting. They have a shared behavior pattern that doesn't really directly derive from capitalism necessarily. It derives from just levels of care. Alright? And we probably should talk about it as well. I am constantly gut-wrenched, feeling excruciating pains from all the drama NPCs are doing. Usually the problem is always the same. They just don't fucking care. They just don't care. Why don't you care? Or why do you announce so loud and proud that you do not fucking care? Why do I have to listen to that fucking announcement? It doesn't give me opportunity. Yet again, capitalism doesn't give opportunity to anyone. Everything is a placeholder, right? Placeholder is not an opportunity. Every single business even thinks they're gonna just crash and burn tomorrow. So they kind of some of the placeholders are rug pulls as well. You know, you just never know because a company might be doing well one day, might be doing pretty bad another day, and they might either choose between layoff or some kind of rug pull scheme. The world is fucking screwed, man, if you really think about it. But let's just call it, we are surrounded by stupid people. And that is just fundamentally extremely dangerous. Alright? It's dangerous in every capacity ever. You will contract mental illness from stupid people. You will bump into stupid people and start the most ridiculous levels of drama. You will have to just hear them existing and crawling around like roaches and being just upset about every fucking little thing. This is the existence surrounded by stupid people until there's actual filters established, until we can weed out all the fucking children of the world, all the just hateful people, all the evil people, until we start fucking weeding things out. This is gonna be our reality. We're just surviving, surrounded by stupid people. And those stupid people that are growing up, there's just a generation of stupid people. So what am I supposed to do? Wait? Wait and see? What is the best strategy? Hopefully, during this series, we'll figure out what the fuck is capitalism, right? Because I want to know all the details. That should help decide what is the best strategy. Although capitalism is shutting down, it looks like. It might not even be more than 2 years and capitalism might just shut down. Someone might ask AI of hey, what is a good solution to help humanity? And AI gonna give a good answer, and it's well, we're done here now. Someone will actually ask that question. It's not gonna be me. I'm already saving the world as it is. I'm already killing polygons. At least in my head, because right now I'm just like vacating and I'm stressing and stuff. And I wish to find a quiet place to do my work. But why would I invest into a quiet place? That's crazy. I don't know that. I don't know what exists in the world most of the time. Besides places where you can dump a lot of money, you know. If I can't have friends, I cannot travel to different locations. This is the way I see it. Because friends like make things go faster like 10 times. You get a speed boost. Alright? And it's like I already have like the best brain. Does that make me excluded from having friends? It kind of does, right? Like, there's a lot of stupid people. So technically, there's always a chance to make friends. Don't worry about that. All right? You can always bump into someone and start crafting a friendship. If you have, like, a lot of resources, it probably will happen. But it didn't happen to me. So that's another, like, big question. Well, it's not a question. I'm a boy. I go this way. I do my computer stuff. All right. I don't do human stuff. All right? I don't socialize. I don't touch grass. Fuck that shit. And I did it so successfully so far that, or unsuccessfully. So I was so traumatized so far into just like always seeing computer as the answer that I became godlike now. Oh, great. I have the biggest brain. I hope I can use it for something. Yeah? But like this level of disconnection from the stupid people who are all there and all over this path. Alright? Until they kind of at least become big-hearted people. Big-hearted. And that still allows them to like tap into something smart generally. Or just like be nice all the time. And just like opportunistically nice. So there's two pathways. I went that way. Alright? I did the hard thing because I'm a guy. You do the hard things first. You don't get the fucking cheesy, easy life, as women do, but women get a very hard life right after. Because marriage is not the answer. Like, to me, it feels like some kind of completionism happening over there with the stupid people. They just want to complete the list of things that tradition has taught them, and they seem to be doing well, but they never needed my help, right? So now I'm just fucking scared, right? They never needed my help because maybe I didn't exist hard enough, but like, so they don't even know that I exist? Is that what's going on? But then what do I fucking even do? Something's gonna give, man. I truly believe, like, something's gonna give, and the world will have to reorder itself. But the way it stands, we're just gonna have to deal with a lot of stupid people. Right? They're just gonna be around. The funny thing about capitalism is privacy. So technically, stupid people cannot just enter your world and mess things up whenever they feel like it. But they do try, okay? They do try just a little bit. They have their dogs, they have their children, they have their hellos and goodbyes. Okay? They do try to do some bullshit, and on the internet they try to do that very directly. Right? They do nothing else besides try to fucking rip your reputation for being just big enough loser for them. You know? Privacy is important. Privacy on social media is also important. You can block people you don't like, and you have to sort of be very active on that point, but only if it actually matters, right? If you actually spend time on that social media and if you actually can block them, because like deleting your comments doesn't mean much. If you're just promoting yourself, right? If drama happens, you're just kind of promoting yourself. Like anyone disagrees with you, you could delete your comment and just like technically that person can't talk to you anymore. You can claim your privacy, but like you do have to understand like even the greatest storms will just like pass away. And despite I existed like 3 years right on YouTube, I had very little YouTuber contacts. All right, I technically contacted people I didn't really care about. So stuff like fucking Pancake, the Technoblade-like YouTuber. Alright, he bumped into me. And these are like tiny little bumps. But I guess they do matter. Alright? If you ask me if I was able to contact certain YouTubers, sometimes, more or less, okay? There was a little bit of that. Just a little bit of bumpiness in there. It's not like complete desert. We're in complete rejection. There's some stuff, some bumpy stuff on Instagram as well with women. All right. So there is a little bit of resource. It's not a lot, but it's kind of enough to even like keep me going and put a smile on my face of like, yeah, I still remember doing those things. I just keep bumping into people just a little bit. That's cool, you know? It feeds you hope. But yeah, this privacy aspect is big, which is why you're able to be surrounded by stupid people and still like maintain your sanity. You have to. You have to consider this point in general of like sometimes you need that privacy time and you need to reinforce that privacy as much as possible. And you might need to make even drastic moves as like move out, find a better place, find a more private place, right? You do have to consider these things if your productivity is going down, if what you're doing is not working out. I can always switch from a productive self to like a fucking floaty self, to a flow state self, but it's not very productive. All right. So if I'm productive, I actually am vibing with a lot of people who would want to be my friends, I would imagine, because I would be very helpful for them, right? So my productive state is much more powerful and sometimes, and it's leading towards like a project as well, sparkling some project ideas, but it's not there yet. So, there is a higher level state that I can tap into. Is my path is clear of, being godlike. I know what I'm doing. I didn't just came here by accident. But yeah, there's different levels of care. Levels of care is the same thing as just levels in general. They go like this, and it's quite interesting to discuss that. So the basic NPC level, the most descriptive like event that happened is asking like, why would you care? Why would you care so much? It's just this. It's just that. NPCs tend to oversimplify everything, minimize everything, and they are actually bothered that you care, which is ridiculous. Why would you care? Like, that's the most insane thing to actually ask most of the time. Because people tend to care about, like, the most dumbest things, the most, like, useless things. And everyone just spreads out, like, following their passions. Passions can be all kinds of size and shapes and multitudes, basically. And what the fuck are we talking about? Why would you care? This is a comment that would get you banned, If you ask me of why would I care, and then you talk about a little bit about my passion, you're banned instantly. I do have to protect my passion. All right? If you don't understand, you're just not supposed to be talking to me. Right? Because your ability to care is just completely non existent. Alright? You can say, why would you care about fucking anything? And why is this happening with NPCs? NPCs don't want to care. Alright? NPCs are just like, they're woke, basically. You just woken up someone, and it's like, why would you do this to me? Why would you wake me up right now in the middle of fucking triple midnight, bro, where I have double cancer? I don't want to care about your thing. Let me go back to sleep, said NPC. Right? But these are the sort of people, like, you have to get rid of. Discard them immediately. These are the fucking losers of the world. Alright? Consume the losers. You're not the loser in the winner media as long as you consume the losers below you. Trigger them all day long. Don't worry about it. Alright? Don't lose your self-esteem when you are dealing with stupid people. Consume them. Throw them away. Treat them like trash. Alright? What are there's no consequence to that. There's nothing. Nothing fucking happens, dude. And especially when they started it first. So you just do the same thing to them. Except you have all the buttons, usually. Right? The next level of care is people who have children. So they're like overprotective. And over here, people might just say nonsense and be like very irritating in general. Right? They are the children, basically. They can become your child. I feel like with this like level of brain. They can become your child and be very annoying because they keep asking for things, right? So the idea is, in this level, is that they don't care about anything in particular besides maybe like self-interest or just growing their child, just having their family. If you enter their bubble, like you're the supervillain, basically. They don't care about you, still. They're not going to look at your direction. They're not going to try to talk to you. I actually want to, like, even look into my Instagram. Maybe I got banned, you know? There's some fucking weirdo managing, basically, a children business. It would be really weird if I got banned. So it makes no fucking sense to be, doing a project, but then still being just more of a family person. Which is what would happen. Like, you can't actually be friends with them unless you somehow benefit their children, or sometimes their pets. I mean, they kind of like simulating having a child sometimes, I guess. They might react the same way if they have a pet. Or if you care about their pet, of like, they care about you now. Of like, yes, you enter through the correct door. So they have like these like very weird rules. Basically, they're just randomly generated rules. Yeah. Good enough for me. The next level is level I just left. So I know who I was, personally. So it's kind of like I'm unstable. I'm high maintenance. And now we're talking about like C-listed celebrities, which they kind of existed at some point, and they stop existing, and they're just like holding on to their job. And they're also like very irritated when someone actually tries to talk to them. They just want to do their thing and not worry about too much. Like, anything can spark drama, technically, to them. C-listed, like, can be very insecure still. And, then you have, I don't know, a policeman, a military person, a teacher over here. So now you can actually approach them about something within their scope. Again, there's like still a lot of like restrictions of how you can talk to them, how you can interact with them. How would they be able to care about you in the first place? There's very limited topics, and you just don't know, right? What do you do exactly? So I had to like really fucking squeeze myself in there to be able to have interactions with teachers when I was at school. Alright? When I was a little fucking nothing. I saw what it's like to interact with them. Similarly to police, like it's very difficult to like position them to where you can talk to them. They just interact amongst themselves as if that's good enough, as if you're basically trash. And now we're at this level, but the care level like increases. All right, despite them being irritated, maybe you can find a way to still, be around a C-listed celebrity. For me, I'm just like, I'll just poke their irritations in a just humble way, and they will pop. They will just explode in rage or whatever. Whatever happens, I'll take it. Now we have B-listed celebrities, so pretty popular. And this is the level where I just, like, past this point, like, you don't really have to worry about it. I don't even know the God level. What is that supposed to do? God level probably cares about everything all the time. So you upload a video, you can expect God to give a fuck about that. I don't know. You can imagine a God level. If there was a YouTube God, he knows about everything. Because gods know how to extract information from reality faster than you could ever imagine. That's just one thing they do. Just one thing. It gets a lot crazier probably up there. Because not only God has to extract information, but it has to be able to bend the reality of making people interact with each other. Making people think certain things, maybe even fucking manipulating their dreams. I don't know. But God level is fucking insane. And obviously the most insane part is that you don't have to know who God is. He's just there. His presence is there. You just don't know who he is. Right? He's still just hidden like a baby under the bushes, basically, observing you. But you cannot observe him back, because it would be too dangerous. So God cares the most of all people, and cares so much that, like he's like the equivalent of 10 presidents or something. It gets really fucking insane at that level. At this level where I am, now I care a hell of a lot. All right, I just sent my teacher a big, long introduction to how motivation is science. That you have to, like, actually study it to be able to motivate yourself just a little bit more each day. It's self-improvement that happens gradually. It's not something that's going to hit you with a hack. The hack happened when we started getting motivated by money, and that's it. We wake up every day, it's very simplified of just earn money and you'll do better that way. Right? The funny thing is, money is the order of operations around this region. So you literally cannot escape money even if you become godlike. Even if you become like me, I still cannot escape money. Money still restricts my movements and everything. Right? And even if I improve my godlike ability, I'm still going to be restricted by money. in a corporate level. So, oops. Right? Order of operations. That does not mean that the order of operations diminishes my path. But you can see now a lot of things are crossing over. My path is to be social, first and foremost, as best as I can, and just like enjoy the process of socializing with anything at all. Like my mom, socializing with my mom, just see what's going on outside, see what's going on social media. Socializing gains a whole new level, basically. Because I have something to tell those people, they just don't want to fucking listen. So it kind of makes me, live on a much higher level. Where I notice how much people don't give a fuck. How much they do not respond to anything. Right? And how much it would actually matter if they did respond. I just know. I know that thing now. I am godlike. I just figured it out. How much people really need to think about certain things. Otherwise, they literally just doing fucking no progress at all. Again, back in the day, I was like building complex systems. I was a big ass programmer. I could have done great things for myself. It all fell apart because the world was more cruel than I anticipated. Okay, I had to rethink my entire strategy of life. So there's a lot of people who are still following just like basic ass path, and they earning their money potentially, but some of them still fall down. Yeah, you can also see that in real time as well. So I'm still observing like very interesting stuff happening, right? And now observing things is becoming like my lifestyle. It does look like it's impossible for me to run out of the social media upload ideas, and I do not care about whether people like it or not. I have my own thing going on, so I'm still not running out of ideas. No matter how fast I run. And I want to outrun my ideas. It's a very interesting competition of like, for how long can I fucking have this? We're gonna get to this. Hopefully. I just want to, again, fully introduce the levels. I think I did that. But yeah, it's very difficult to escape the order of operations. I still operate under capitalism, under a lot of money problems, basically. It's annoying. But that's what I have to care about. And it's literally, the world is the cruelest it could ever be to like people who think as their personality. Overthinking is a word which means nothing besides like, well, you are at disadvantage if you are a thinker. That's what it is. This whole thing is on fire. Everyone is oversimplifying their lives because money exists on both levels of operation. And I have to fucking suffer and suffocate and just like automatically drift into this region of the edge of the universe where I am now God. Like, yay! Such a cool thing. Doesn't save me, alright? Doesn't save me, but, you know, I downsize myself and I can be happy regardless of how bad things are. That type of stuff. And I could also feel very ready to face whatever challenge I come across. The higher order of operations is politics. And to reach that level, I mean, that will take like 15 years or something. And I already crossed politics, by the way, the path of politics. So where it's like, I could have appeared like a journalist, right? Interviewing people and their opinions. And it sort of was happening. I would want to put it all in perspective of what this path means to me. Because I crossed it, I couldn't do it, apparently. Normally, being a journalist means that you're just kind of nagging people to talk to you and to answer your questions. And you almost like don't even exist as well. Like a lot of the journalism is about asking celebrities for things. But even I don't even know like the approach of that thing. There's something weird about this. Like, how did I acknowledge the politics path in the first place? Because I ignore politics, and usually that's like literally the smartest thing to do. If you ignore politics, you do the best politics. If you just do the politics of balance, if you seek balance, you do the best politics. Centrism. Not giving a fuck about politics. The best. Alright? So maybe I just like hacked the system very quickly. And if you hack the system, if you master it, it becomes boring. Right? And then you have to choose a path of where to go next. But usually the path chooses you, not you choose the path. It does depend, but it does depend more on like resources. If you're not capable of emitting resources or burning resources, then something is going wrong, right? Something is holding you back, and it probably will just drag you across the ground because of gravity of things. So I already explained a lot of the times like this self-improvement matrix, which is now trying to explain my entire life. And I'm like, yep, that's awesome. We went very far. All right. And if we go back, there's not a single person that has ever even unlocked self-improvement matrix. Shit like this, shit like the stuff that my brain goes through and invents to assist my self-improvement, this stuff only sparkles here and there, just a little bit. It's just fucking little tiny sparkles in reality that sort of resemble, and it's like once a year you get a sparkle for that particular thing, maybe. Like, it's so rare, it's so difficult to find smart things that, especially that ones that you can use that align with your beliefs. It's so rare. You know, most of the time you're just gonna like turn on your social media and you just like brain rot, rage bait, and then a bunch of fucking cat videos, a bunch of funny videos, a bunch of kindness content, just manipulation, politics, news. Just you bombarded with just quite a generic pile of shit content. Because the not so generic is always like human interaction. Socializing is not so simple, right? All of a sudden you have to respect the media that you're consuming because you're interacting with it. This is a whole different thing. Anytime, like you can bump into a stupid person like almost every single fucking time. And it's 99% of the time of what you're going to be bumping into. The real question is, what the fuck do we do about it? That's insane. The rate of which you're going to be bumped, like if you ask what is the nearest person next to you, it's going to be a stupid person. It's going to be a person that doesn't give a fuck about a lot of things. And they hack the system just to not care. You know? At some point, they look so fucking ridiculous when they hack the system to not care. Right? If my parents cared about me, maybe I would be going across talent shows, right? And unleashing my full potential. They don't care. They're just placeholders. And those placeholders are just ruining my life. And there's no way to replace my parents, so that's ruining my life. There's no way to even like establish a normal life. I will always grab the life of the benefits, right? Life of just free money. So that's ruining my life. Everything ruined my life till the edge of the universe of just like, well, I'm just going to be drifting. Nothing can possibly ruin my life anymore. I'm just going to be drifting around. But if it does get ruined anyways, Now we're in trouble. And again, the question mark territory. The destroyer level territory. Alright, where reality starts making no real sense. Where reality has betrayed you and you have to constantly remind reality that what happened to you. You know, remind the reality your history. And technically there's no real limits going this direction. And no real limits going that direction. When you hit this spot, I mean, it gets really crazy. Going this direction, you can only establish a greater gravity. And it's all the crippled people. But they're not necessarily stupid. Alright? Anyways, they could be intentionally stupid. They have to be. They have to be intentionally. Again, intelligence is potentially ability to care, right? Because that's what we judge people based on their level. So even if you don't have big brain, you might still not be stupid because you still care. You know, so you can still hang out amongst smart people because you care. You just carry those cupcakes into their room. You know, you're the greatest cheerleader for the nerds, basically. Like, who cares? You can still be amongst the smart people. You're one of them. Smartness in this case is just a level of care. There is the thing of just like, you're out of my league. But it has to be like properly defined, and it wasn't yet until I invented the Matrix. But Matrix is not 4x4 Matrix, not popular. So we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait, guys. Either I have to, you know, carry it all by myself. Well, it's not gonna happen. I just have to wait until I get friends to spread powerful ideas with. I either will find a group of friends that, you know, we can work with, or find a group of friends that are just like politically aligned, because they must be politically aligned, they must not be monetarily aligned. Not just seek purpose in money. It's not useful for me, okay? It's not gonna make a tight friendship anymore. If you only care about money, like, it's very difficult for me to talk to you. Alright? Yes, order of operations, and these people think about money a lot. A lot, but it's technically aligned with this thing, so... This one is just literally it. Okay, that's good. Again, stupidity in general is an enhanced ability. Everyone wants to care less. And this is another topic we have to discuss. What are people trying to optimize when they seek to care less? Again, money is such a great optimizer, but it also started existing primarily when, you know, markets opened up. The first thing is the corporate age, right? When cars were invented. The invention of car started a corporate era. It wasn't a long fucking time ago, was it now? But it had to be like really fast to become a corporate thing. So at 1942, we have something decent. I'm looking at 100 years ago. This is where cars became promising. You know, the car idea was like sparking something going on. But I say it's corporate. All right? No, it's more like 90 years ago. 90 years ago, about that much, this is where corporate era began. So it's about 1930. It's technically this. It's technically just when the car looked nice. Right? It's technically this region right there. So that's where you can imagine people started realizing car is pretty good. It's pretty good to own a car, and you have to work towards the car instead of having horses and living in villages. Then the city life became something to worry about. Of like, shit, people have crazy things in these cities. I gotta get that car, man. So you starting working for something, and then corporate age evolved into now using communism, where now like people understand what they're doing, and now we have capitalism, where people have way too many resources, and we literally have to learn how to burn each other, right? And to burn each other is to technically care less. How can we care less? It's actually a strategy, you know? How can we stupefy ourselves when it comes to certain subjects, basically? That's what people are constantly trying to do. And to me, it's bullying because they have no idea how to treat a smart person, right? A person who has a thinker personality. They have no idea that every single time they open their fucking mouths, they're kind of offending me, basically. They don't offend me, I guess, when they complain or cry about it, I guess. I don't know. There's just that one exception when they're weak. And I can, like, come up to them and it's like, it's okay, buddy. I'm with you. I hear you. I support you. And that's it. That's all I can do. It's weird, man. But it's very important to like recognize what's going on. Because all of these patterns are readable. And again, if patterns are readable, they won't stop there. They will continue on as if nothing ever happens. Alright, any differently. So you can predict a lot of the future, but that's just a cool little thing that you get for pattern recognition. Anyways, to care less, to break things, break rules, to take advantage of other people. This is what's happening under capitalism. It's very basic shit. To care less, to raise prices on everyone. Alright. To not sell your house, to not rent out your house, just sit on it basically. Because the value is going up. To buy Bitcoin, which is a completely meaningless thing, but it goes up in value, so I want it. I want it. Caring less is our culture right now. People trying to care as least as possible. And you constantly wake them up and they're just so irritated of like, what the fuck are you doing? Basically, they are neurotic people. They're always annoyed that they have to care. So I don't want to care. I don't want to. So stupidity is just something that is literally now accepted in our society. In a way. In one particular way. But again, when it comes to like levels of care, the levels of care do tend to increase and you have to fight for it. You have to fight to secure a little bit of that hope. A little bit of that copium, basically. Because someone like me, like, is leaning towards deep depression, and I don't want to give up into that anymore. I bumped into depression, and it fucking sucked. Okay? To me, I was, like, surrounded by, like, people who wanted to just, like, do money all the time, and I wasn't able to even think differently until I gained the ultimate copium. A hint of fresh air. A way out, basically. I thought, well, I'm doing well, I'm just surviving, but then I, contracted mental illness, contracted depression, contracted meaninglessness of everything, and contracted, just, again, people silence and not giving a fuck. If people don't have to care, they will not care. It's that fucking simple, man. So always celebrate when people do care, You have to respond. You have to watch what's going on because it's amazing. It's a fucking miracle of life when people do care. You know, you have to accommodate that and appreciate for what it is because they don't want to care less. It's a big deal. Like, it's deeply, confusingly, but like very meaningful. All right, and bro, I almost cried about The Office, and let me tell you guys what I cried about. So again, I'm actively watching The Office. I almost cried already, and it's like out of all the people, the most surprising part that almost made me cry is they are the family, right? And there was like this guy who doesn't want to like establish a personality, and he's just basically being bought over into another branch. But then he didn't. He was just like actually bluffing and just wanted a raise basically. But this was so fucking painful to watch of like, man, even that guy is a part of family despite, you know, putting the least amount of effort. But he's that black guy, you know? He deserves it. Like, in addition to that, it's like the most anti-racist, the most like extraordinary thing that just came out of nowhere. Crying is not uh, a simple thing. If you can't care less, if you literally cannot care less, you do feel it. If that thing is just literally stuck in your head and you're just like, damn, I really, really care about this. This one cannot die, right? You feel the survival situation of that person, or I don't know, the entire YouTube channel. It's usually a person, right? Like, what else would you care about that you cannot care less about? And when you can care less, maybe you get angry. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Or you want to care less really badly. People misinterpret anger, very likely. Like, I want to care less, but I can't. Okay? I just can't. And there's not much you can do by attacking me. You have to attack the thing that I'm attached to. And just asking why do you care so much doesn't fucking help. Just telling me of like, hey, go play a different game doesn't help all the time. People sometimes misunderstand that passion exists, right? Passion for certain things, familiarity to certain things, you know, attachment. It's not itchy glitchy nonsense. Passion is a real thing. And it has to be respected. And if you fail to respect people's passions, you have to get banned. You have to get silenced. It's the most fucking sensitive thing. While caring less allows you to do a lot more things, you do realize eventually, when you're about to lose something, how much you actually care not to lose that thing. When you cannot care less anymore because you're losing it, right? It's your last moments to be able to spend time with them, right? At some point, even the heartless people have to realize how much they care about their freedoms, to not go to jail, how much they care to be connected to certain people that they rely on, or how much they cry about their fucking phone when Wi-Fi is down, basically. Like, you start realizing how much you really care. Quite a dangerous moment for your eyes. Eyes do bleed. Anyways, I'll go eat some food. Think about it some more. Maybe I'll figure it out. I hate being surrounded by stupid people. It's drama, drama, noise, noise. It's hard to live without proper isolation, and it feels like it's just the most necessary step to solidify my godlike state. I cannot allow myself to surround myself with stupid people anymore. I have to run. Gotta move. But I'll give it time, obviously. I have to understand what moving even means exactly. Because it still makes no sense to me. It doesn't feel automatic. Doesn't feel like I can just do it. Maybe if I am able to move internet, all of a sudden I can be anywhere. Is that Wi-Fi, man? It makes me cry if I don't have it. While you might be able to avoid stupid people in a workplace, so that's not a subject, you'll be safe in the office. You will treat them as your family, right? You will not be safe in schools and jails. That's where the stupid people are, okay? And they're very tight together. You cannot expect much from school life to like carry over. It's stupidity everywhere. You cannot expect from like childhood friends to carry over. Maybe a little bit. Maybe one friend from school carries over. And in jail, very similar story. Maybe you'll find one person to lean to and everyone else's background noise. Another important thing is to not get offended if people don't care about you. It is what it is. Silence is everyone. Will it change in the future? And what is the fucking goal of this thing in the first place? To oversimplify a complex world so we can like exist in sort of like harmonious way anyways? That's a guess. Wait, I was playing music already? Oh, for fuck's sake. Look at me not caring enough. I tried to press pause, but I didn't double check, so now we're screwed over. In workplaces, you might meet people that care about you eventually, but even that is kind of difficult to establish, even relationships. Anything unnecessary just falls apart very quickly. In the world of survival, this is why we appreciate more like shorter videos. But when it's about politics, we appreciate the longer videos. It flips upside down immediately. There's more stupidity than you think. And anytime you can just like find just enough proof very quickly of what level people are. But they still gonna engage in this like coordinated stupidity. Collective operational stupidity. To dumb things down so they're like very, very simple and accessible. Anyone can travel basically. Anyone can marry each other. Like anyone can raise their children. It seems extremely basic shit when you put all the like responsibilities together, and I sort of like I can't operate under simplicity. It makes no sense because instead of simplicity now you're because of simplicity you're asked to be courageous. If you can complete every single game and every single game is easy and oversimplified, the real challenge becomes to keep switching games, to keep playing a different game every single time. And that is just very difficult, man. Well, a lot of channels do fall into a trap of playing one game in particular. But sometimes you can switch based on, like, that giant preference that you have. Like, maybe if you want to find the most skill-based game, you keep migrating. There's still some things you have to care about in the end of the day. But the funny thing is, there's this placeholder thing that pops up again. We realize that people don't care as much as you expected, right? Because how can you, like, contact a celebrity? How can you bump into people and talk about meaningful things? There's always just enough barriers to prevent you from doing anything meaningful because it's too complicated, all right? The other thing besides of, like, why do you care so much is people getting triggered by the complexity of everything. So just the most narcissistic thing is to just like, what? I don't get it. What are you yapping about, basically? Another disrespectful thing that's like exclusively stupidity related, right? Like you don't want to understand. You're not even trying to understand. Why would I answer your stupid questions? Why would I bother? Right? This is also something that gets you banned very quickly, unfortunately. Either people care or people don't. And that's where things, have to split up. If a person doesn't care in your face and they're clearly lower level, like on social media, it's the most obvious thing. They haven't even changed their avatar. That's it. You're out. If a person doesn't care in your face, you have to ask, who do you think you are? Who are you, basically? And they have to present proof. You ask for proof, basically. But that would be in real life. And it takes a little bit more courage to set up a situation like that. Normally, generally, I understand where people coming from, regardless. Now, how important it is to avoid stupid people. Because it seems like it's ridiculously important. Again, that you can contract so many mental diseases, so many downfalls of listening to these assholes, and pick up on their patterns, where those patterns make you bored of that at some point, of like, man, you're just doing that same thing again. Can you fucking stop? But you have to force them to stop because they don't care anymore. They collectively don't care. They're collectively below you because you are recognizing their patterns, meaning that you have to level up your expectations at some point as well. Back 2 years ago when I didn't dabble into social media, I didn't care. It does feel weird because like social media might not be the right path anymore. If I'm godlike, I'm supposed to like talk to, like socialize in real life in a way. It gets kind of weird. I don't know. Because leveling up fundamentally changes everything about you. If you're picked from 100 contestants to be the person who wins the whole contest, it fundamentally changes who you are. You are a winner now. People will give a fuck about that. People will follow your trophy around as you represent something. You simplified something for these people. And again, you can see the avoidance mechanisms online in a lot of the cases. Don't feed the trolls. But the reality is to just avoid stupid people. People below you. People stupider than you who actively don't care. What's the point? You demote them until they turn into dust. Because sometimes I do give them a bone. I do respond to their hatred. It's probably the last thing I do. But sometimes I do leave the door open. And what do? They shoot themselves in the face because they don't care. In my world, all I see is suicide. It's just mentally ill behavior everywhere. How do you survive in a situation like this, where only thing you observe is just disgusting behavior? But that's why you look up all the time. You look up as long as possible. Do not look down. Look up. Look to the people who are better than you or equal to you, right? And act as their equal. Act as their peer. That is just the way I operate right now. It is what it is. It's a deeply offensive thing to try and pull off anti-growth, because anyone is capable of care at different levels. They can do different things that matter or that don't matter, right? It's a switch. It's just on and on, off. It's black and white. It gets very, very obvious to decipher if a person is trying not to care or try to care, and you have to weed out the bad guys. There's just no way around it. And weeding out means from every aspect of life, avoidance in every way, seeking privacy in every way. These people are dangerous. And the most important aspect is they're the waste of time, the greatest waste of time there is. Please care about me and click button. Please click button. Play keyboard. I don't know. Please. Bye.